Hello and welcome to the 197th episode of the Game Out Loud podcast, your one and only podcast for all things gaming. I am, of course, the host, Jordan Rusnak, and joining me, as always, is the predictable, pedantic, and postulating Rob Peterson.
Not always. Not always joining you. Occasionally I'm not on the show, Jordan.
Oh, okay, so you are always the other things, though.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Especially pedantic.
And any other P alliteration I can come up with, like pompous.
Yeah, I don't want to say any other P alliteration you can come up with, because I'm sure you can come up with some pretty terrible ones. But,
that I can.
Yeah, I'll take those four. Sure.
Okay, sweet. So we'll write that down, and that will be your new name. In fact, you'll need to go to the Department of Licensing. Is that where you change your name? And get that done here within the next 30 days, as per Game Out Loud law.
Okay.
All right.
As long as we add promiscuous.
We can. We might want to ask your wife about that one. Eyebrows. What are you drinking there?
This is just herbal tea. I drink it out of a large glass because it can fit more than a mug. So
I think that's just beer in a pint glass.
maybe it is.
Like, how about this? Pour it in your microphone, and let's see if it comes out mine, and I'll try it.
Here, I'll just hand you the glass.
For some reason I can't seem to reach in. Oh,
darn.
I'll have to take your word
It's worth a
for
shot.
it. No, that's a pint glass. Shots are smaller. I have those downstairs. I bought.
This isn't quite a pint glass. It's a little smaller than a pint glass. But.
Oh, I actually went and bought shot glasses because I wanted to do car bombs because I happen to have some Jameson and Guinness.
And now you're on a list.
Why? Oh, because I said car bomb on the internet. Irish car bomb. My apologies. I just call them car bombs because I'm not.
Well, now you're on a list.
Now I'm on the list for the Irish car bombs. That's the worst Irish accent I think I've ever done. Dud? That's not even a word.
Ever done.
That's not even proper Irish English. I know I'm saying. I don't know. I'm offending people left and right. I apologize if you are Irish out there. But I did want those, so I realized I did not own any shot glasses, and the only way I could get a shot glass that was a decent shot glass, I bought 6. So now I have 6 shot glasses. And I did 4 car bombs in one night, and I don't drink very often, nor had I eaten anything that day. So let me tell you, that night was exciting. You can talk to Ryan DeBraw about that if you want some updates on that one.
He has the photos.
He has the audio recorded, probably. I'm pretty sure that guy records everything that happens in life. But yeah, no worse for wear the next day. But I'm not sure how we got on that subject. But what have you been drinking? Playing this week, Rob?
Okay. Couple things. So, Jack Lefso finally picked up Halo 5 on the Xbox One. Been trying to talk him into it since it came out. So he picked it up. We've been playing through that in co-op as it is meant to be played. And as I have never played it before, because there's no couch co-op, all my friends who wanted to play it with me don't have an Xbox One. They were just like, oh, I'll just come over. Well, you can't because 343 Industries are literally insane people and decided that they'd rather have shinier graphics than have couch co-op, which is ludicrous. Anyway, rant aside, we've been playing through the campaign and having a lot of fun, actually. I still think it's the weakest Halo campaign to date, but, even a weak Halo is still a good time, especially in a co-op campaign, Yeah. It's always fun to just grab a beer or whatever you're drinking and jump on the headset and shoot some aliens in the face.
And Halo does have very, very good action. Like their fire, their gameplay, their gunplay is all really, really solid for the most part.
Yeah, and that stays true for Halo 5. In fact, they kind of improved the AI a little bit from Halo 4, and also I feel like at least in single player, every weapon is finally useful.
Well, that's good.
Because there's always been some kind of bullshit weapons in Halo where you're like, you pretty much, it's what you have to use until you can get a better gun. Some of those little alien squirt guns.
Yeah. I feel that way about the Needler, but people like the Needler.
I like the Needler too.
I'm not a Needler fan. Battle rifle all the way.
But yeah, it just reminded me too how absurd the plot of that game is. I mean, it is terrible.
I haven't played it. I don't think I've played a Halo game since Halo 3.
Pretty sure you played 4 because we reviewed it on the podcast.
I didn't own a PlayStation to play that. Or an Xbox.
You didn't have a 360? In
Not
2012?
not when we had it. Like I borrowed one from a friend that I never ever turned on.
No,
I think
I
you and Halo.
no.
I
You
think
must.
you and Halo reviewed Halo. Sorry, I think you and
Yeah.
Colin reviewed Halo.
Oh, yeah. I tried to get Colin on tonight too to see if he'd come talk Bioshock, but the scheduling didn't pan out. So we'll see. Maybe we can get him on for one of these other Bioshock episodes we've got coming up.
Uh, yeah, that'll be good. Now on that note, we were talking about doing Bioshock this week, Bioshock 2 next week, and then Bioshock Infinite. They didn't really do anything to Bioshock Infinite. Are we still following the three system?
Yeah, why not? It's always a good time, especially because I remember you didn't like Bioshock Infinite at launch. I liked it, but didn't love it. And since then, I've kind of like my opinion of that game's just gone down. Um,
No, I
so
think I
I
think I
think it
liked
would.
it. I think I liked it at launch. My opinion of it's definitely gone down after that, like after my initial beating of that game.
Yeah, but I haven't played it since then. So, maybe if we revisit it, we'll find more to love, or we'll just be able to say why we think it's actually a piece of shit.
Still,
So, yeah. So, yeah, that's the plan right now.
how long is that game, man? Like I don't think I'll be able to put all the time I need into that, but we'll do our best
Yeah, I
all of
don't
these.
think I don't think I'll have time to beat Infinite unless it just really grabs me.
Yeah,
It's hard for me to imagine beating that game in a week like I used to, but
we
I
did we
might
did
beat
it.
Bioshock.
We
One.
did that when we recorded it for the first time.
Yeah, we did. I
Oh,
think
how
I
simple life was.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk about this too much. I just want to say I think part of the reason I was so glowing about that game is it has a really kick-ass ending.
Hmm.
So you come off on the high. It's like
Indeed,
that movie Whiplash. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh, I don't think it's that great of a movie, but it has the best ending scene, like one of the best ending scenes I've ever seen. So everyone came out of the theater like, "Yeah, Whiplash, the best picture material." Uh, Bioshock Infinite's kind of the Whiplash of games, I think. It fools you into thinking it was better than it was because it ends so strong. So
Gotcha, and I can definitely see that being the case.
anyway, none of that has anything to do with Halo 5, but I don't really know what else there is to say about that except, yeah, the plot's stupid. Still can't believe there's no couch co-op, but still fun co-op game and pretty well featured multiplayer suite too. We haven't really dived into that yet, but we will once we beat the campaign. So um, beyond that, I might have to borrow something from you, Jordan. Got any crow lying around that
Uh,
I can eat?
you wait that you can eat?
That I can eat. I'm gonna have to eat some serious crow,
I
and I
can
wish
find some.
I wish your brother was on this show
We can. Where's my
because
cell phone?
yeah, you want to get him live for this? No, we don't need a bookmark.
What's
But
what's up?
Colin picked up Destiny on the PS4,
Uh huh.
and we have been playing it for the last couple weeks, and it's good. It's really good.
Oh, you're eating
I'm really
crow
enjoying
for
it.
for Mark, not me. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought.
you agreed with me. We were both kind of like, Destiny. That was a lot of hype.
Yeah.
I don't know how much has changed from the core game that I just don't remember, and how much of it is just playing it with Colin now. Rather, because a lot of when I played Destiny before was with you and Dylan, who were already like
Fun about it.
kicking ass on it.
Yeah.
Um, so you guys were kind of like dragging me through stuff you'd already played, and I don't know if I really got the full experience that way.
Yeah.
Or maybe they've just polished it up into a better game, but I'm having tons of fun with it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
that. I mean, that game I had so much hope for, and I just did not enjoy it.
Yeah, and the what's the new expansion that came out or comes out this week called?
No idea. I have not been paying attention at all.
I might actually pick it up at some point. Rise of Iron, that's coming out soon, and I'm actually excited for it. So
Awesome. Well, you'll have to keep me updated. We'll have to have Mark on, like you said, to come and talk about that maybe.
yeah, and if he ever wants to play, we're playing on a weekly basis now, so maybe he can show us some tips.
Yeah.
'Cause it's been his jam. But yeah, Mark, you smart, me dumb, you right, me wrong. Destiny is actually a pretty good game. So
Apparently, it made you lose most of your conjunctive words.
yeah, it knocked him right out of me.
That's been your week.
That's been my week. How about you, sir?
Me, I have been playing Throwdown: A Quest for Cards, which is a it's a mobile game on the iPhone, probably on Android as
Real
well.
games, Jordan. Real games.
Hey, this thing is at least fun in the fact that it has like Family Guy. Let's see, it's got Family Guy, The Simpsons, American Dad, Futurama, and shoot, what's the other one?
Bob's Burgers.
Bob's
Sounds like
Burgers.
it's Fox properties then.
Yeah, all like in a card game where they all have levels. And you can combine them all and do these like things. It's fun. It's a free to play
That does
game.
sound fun. Yeah.
And so you get like a Linda from Bob's Burgers and throw her out, and then if you mix her with the food truck, you get Road Rage, and so that levels up that card. And then those each individual cards have a level themselves. So the more leveled up those cards, the more powerful, the more abilities you get. So I've been having fun doing that. And then you get more cards just by playing and getting packs and doing all that. Now, there's another step to that where you can't use those cards quite yet because you have to start researching combos, which, depending on the card, can take quite a while, like up to 5 hours if you're doing a legendary card in that combo. If you're doing commons, it takes 5 minutes apiece. So you sit there and go to the cryo chamber where Fry gets out. Welcome to the land of tomorrow.
The world of tomorrow.
Yeah, or as Bender would say, booga 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 booga. You can use those, and then you research different card combinations by putting them in there, and then time passes, then you unlock them. So
And is it like fully voiced and everything? I mean,
no.
so it's super basic. Okay, I was hoping that they'd get like gags in there and have Billy West and okay.
Well, they have different characters that you can combine and see all that fun stuff, but there's no audio with it. They're just written. King of the Hill, by the way, is also in there. So
That makes sense.
I've been
Bobby.
yeah, Bobby's a rare card that's rather annoying actually when he gets leveled up. I have Luann, and I researched her and costume, and it becomes Devil Luann. And these are all images straight out of the show, so they just took like snapshots and did these things with them, which are great. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. It is a free to play game, so there are hooks for buying it, for buying stuff and doing that. You can buy gems or coins or whatever, but you can earn those over time. Gems less likely so; those are where you're going to get a lot of the free to play aspect. But coins, you get a healthy amount of them just for doing the daily stuff, and you can get cards that way and the like. So I've been playing that, and then I also. Thanks to the guys at Rockfish Games and Evolve PR, got me a copy of Everspace, which is on early access right now. And that seems like if you combined sort of Flight Suit Zero with FTL, which
Wait. Never. Flight Suit Zero or Strike Suit Zero?
Which one's the third person space fighting game?
Strike Suit Zero.
What did I say?
Flight Suit Zero.
What's the difference?
I don't think Flight Suit Zero exists.
You don't think Flight Suit Zero exists? I think Strike Suit Zero is correct.
Okay. Just making sure I'm not crazy.
No, I'm always the crazy one. You're right. Strike Suit Zero. I apologize for that.
Okay.
For that lapse in
your description sounds intriguing.
Indeed. It's cool. You have 3-dimensional control over your ship. You have missiles. You have rockets. Those are the same things. Gatling guns, laser guns. And as you go and you jump in and out into these places, you scan, find resources, extract it, find different enemies, maybe different bases, and it's all procedurally generated, so you don't know what you're gonna get. And then, at least as far as it looks, I think that's the case. And then you line yourself up once you found enough fuel, and then you can line yourself up with the extraction zone, and then you zoom, and then you burst into hyperspace. And then it jumps out to literally an FTL style map where you have the 2-dimensional lines that are branching off from one point. You can see where you're going to go. And then you select there, go to the next place. I've only got about an hour in right now, so I don't have a lot of time. But what I've played seems really good. The graphics seem really nice. It's a little interesting to control as there's a lot going on. But I think there's a lot of room for potential, and I've got a lot of hope for that. And it sounds like someone's just driving a motorcycle right next to my house. I apologize. But
I can't hear it.
Oh, good. So Everspace, I'll give you guys more an update on that here when I've got more time into it, more than likely next week. But it does seem promising, and I will, again, give you more of an update later. So let's go ahead and jump over to extra points for Rob. What have you been doing that's not video game related, buddy?
I am finally getting, I got caught up on the Venture Brothers.
Nice.
I was a season behind. just because when season 6 first started coming out, I wanted to rewatch the rest of the series because there's so many little plot details and side characters and just little ways to get lost in that show. I wanted to make sure I was fully up to speed. So um, spent a good portion of the year doing that, and then once I was ready to go, binge season 6 in like a day, which wasn't hard because it's only 8 episodes. But yeah, it's awesome. Have you watched this show at all?
The Venture Brothers, like ever?
Yeah, but so you've seen it, but you're not like Venture Brothers fan.
Well, I've seen seasons 1, 2, 3, and possibly 4, I believe.
Okay. It's worth revisiting, especially because where they've taken everything is getting so cool. I mean, I'm not going to say this is my favorite season yet, just because it's so short.
Hmm.
Um, Previous seasons, with the exception of season 5, were usually more like 13 to 16 episodes, and they're kind of doing the thing that lots of shows seem to be doing, where the later seasons are getting cut way down, and because of that, it does not have a satisfying ending, which is the primary flaw for this season, I'd say. But still, what's there is awesome. And if you're a Monarch fan,
The
this is a
Monarch!
this is a big Monarch and Henchman 21 season where
Which one's
they
Henchman
have
21?
dude, what the hell? No way.
And what's his buddy?
24, rest in peace.
Oh, is he gone? Oh, yeah, he's gone. He's been gone for a while.
24 is not alive anymore, Jordan.
He's been dead for a while. Didn't he
Get with the program.
Didn't 21 get haunted by him?
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Sorry for a 6-year-old season of the Venture Brothers.
Yeah,
But,
so how what season does that happen in?
I want to say that happens at the end of 3.
Okay, so I've seen through season 3 then, because I've seen him being haunted by him.
Okay, so the haunting I think is season 4, I believe. And yeah, again, sorry for the spoilers here. And now they're getting really specific. So if you don't want anything spoiled about Venture Brothers, I do apologize.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry about. So I guess I've seen into season 4 then.
Okay.
It's not nearly as bad as I thought.
Yeah. So yeah, if you've never seen this show and you're into like animated comedy shows, I think it's the best one going, and that's saying a lot because like I think Archer's been really strong for a while. I'd say,
Archer.
yeah, and I think Venture Brothers is even better than that. It's really really good, and the depth of the world they build for it, and the great enormous cast of side characters they have in the show. And also, if you're into like 70s and 80s rock, there's lots of fun tidbits of information. You can tell that these guys are big fans of that era of music. So there's just lots of mentions and stuff of punk, new wave, post punk, all that kind of stuff, proto punk. Iggy Pop makes an appearance in the show. It's just got lots of stuff that I like in it. Lots of comic book references, and then obviously the primary point of the show is that it's kind of a satire of Hanna-Barbera cartoons like Johnny Quest.
Gotcha.
So yeah, all that rolled into a weird, unique ball that is the Venture Brothers. There's nothing else like it on TV.
I was gonna say, isn't there a series of shows that were kind of like that? Like that was Adult Swim.
Yeah,
back in the day.
the only thing close to that on Adult Swim was Frisky Dingo, which was actually I don't remember his name, but he's the head guy on Archer. He created Archer after that got canceled. But that had some similarities. That was like superhero, supervillain stuff.
I always associate it with Big Zula, the Mike Rula. You got to.
Oh yeah, Aqua Teen.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah,
I was talking
this isn't like the weird Dada humor that you got from Aqua Teen or C Lab or the Brack Show or anything like that. This is a much more serialized, story-driven show. It's not just screwball Adult Swim.
Did you used to watch MTV back in? You probably wouldn't have unless your parents were like not home.
I just probably wouldn't have.
Oh, really? You didn't watch any of the cartoons on MTV?
I've seen like Daria, and of course I've seen Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, so there's Daria and Beavis and Butthead. Those are two I remember. There's another one, though.
Oh, there was Celebrity Deathmatch.
That was a good one. I like that one. I used to play that game, too. It was terrible.
I didn't know it was a game.
Yeah, on PlayStation 2, I want to say.
Hmm.
claymation style. It was pretty good for the time, but I'm sure it's terrible nowadays. But no, it was like these really strangely animated, like creepy characters that were like all like green and like exaggerated features and they were like gross. I can't remember. I don't even know how to describe them. Uh,
You don't remember what it was called?
no, I just remember seeing it on MTV as a small child.
Weird. We can we'll take our viewers through the fun thing of the fun viewing experience of me googling this shit. Wow, MTV's had a ton of animated shows. What the fuck? Clone High?
What circa
Never even
what?
heard of some of this stuff. Cartoon Sushi, Three South, Daria, Eon Flux, maybe.
Eon Flux? No.
The Head. Yeah, I don't know, man. The Grunt Brothers
The
or the
Grunt
Brothers
Brothers.
Grunt.
The Brothers Grunt. That sounds familiar. Let me take a look at that.
Yeah,
The
they're not green, but they're freaky looking. I've never heard of this show. It's got kind of like a heavy metal almost style to the animation, or maybe not even heavy metal, maybe like Nickelodeon.
I think I don't think it was this exactly, but it was definitely this style.
Huh. I don't know.
Like the super jail creepy.
It can't have been that good though, because otherwise you'd still hear about it. You know,
Oh yeah.
the internet hasn't let the good obscure shows from that era die.
No. No, they have not. But yeah, cartoons. I love cartoons so much.
I do too.
You ever watch Cartoon Network?
I do not have cable.
Oh.
I used to watch Cartoon Network all the time. In fact, that's where I found the Venture Brothers. Adult Swim. I was the perfect age for Adult Swim. I was like 14, 15 when that came out. So
What did they called it?
that
Was
was
that
my jam.
different than Toonami back in the day?
Yes, Toonami was more of like an anime centric block, and then Adult Swim came out and was half anime, half comedy, and then slowly they just dropped the anime, and the anime would play uncensored was the big deal for that. And they would play weirder, like more adult-oriented shows, like Lupin the Third and uh, Trigun, I think, was one back in the day.
Swim.
But
So good. So good.
yeah, yeah, it was great. I think it's probably still good. I hear good stuff about it, but I'm not able to watch it anymore.
Well, and they make Adult Swim published Giant Boulder of Death, which is one of my many mobile games that I play on a regular basis.
Yeah, they come out with lots of little indie games.
Hey,
I guess they qualify as indie.
Robot
Oh.
Unicorn Death Squad or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
they have a lot of those little things that are actually pretty fun. Like, they choose some good projects to back.
yeah. I think my next Adult Swim thing I'm going to tackle is Metalocalypse, which you'd think I would have sat down and watched that show, being
I
a
have
metal
watched
fan.
all that. I have watched
Have
that
you?
entire show. I have their album. I own their album.
I saw them live,
That's awesome.
but I've only seen the first season. So my next project's going to be getting through the rest of that because I love that show. And I watch the director, Jonathan Schnepp. I watch his podcasts over at Collider. They're pretty good if you're looking for like a movie, TV series of podcasts. Check out the Collider YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
I have to say that I have started watching. I'm actually into season 2 of Luther, which
Oh, excellent.
yeah,
Was that recommended to you on this show?
it was
Did
by
Brian watch it?
no Kevin Kirk
Oh,
actually
that's right.
recommended it
That's
to me. And it is fantastic. And I've also started watching Penny Dreadful. I watched the first episode of that, which you suggested to me on this podcast. So Luther definitely caught my eye a little more, just because the mood I'm in. But Penny Dreadful seemed to be a rather good thing too. But Luther, I did not expect that. I was expecting more of like just a procedural cop drama, but BBC style.
Yeah, and
No.
it's not.
No.
Yeah, those two leads, Idris Elba and the woman, I can't remember that actress's name, but what the dynamic they've got going on is awesome.
And Idris Elba, like he's gonna be playing Roland in the new Dark Tower show, so that's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting too.
Oh, I'm excited for that. Idris Elba kills it no matter what he's in. You ever see The Wire?
Nope.
Oh, well, he's always fucking good.
What
He's
is he?
the best thing in that piece of shit Prometheus too.
I saw Prometheus. I don't remember much of it though.
Yeah.
It did not seem memorable to me.
No.
But yeah, so that's my extra points is Luther. I do recommend checking that out. That's 3 people. They're now recommended that you guys listening in check it out. So let's go ahead and finalize our conversation on Bioshock, the remastered edition on PC, which, if I'm not mistaken, Rob, you and I both got for free because of the
Yep.
fact that we both owned it on PC already. So if you got this on PC, you got it for free. And in fact, you could also get it for free if you owned it on another console, right? Was there another way to do that?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Maybe if you digitally owned it or something. I don't know. But we got it for free. And I gotta say, any chance to talk about Bioshock, I'm happy. Those of you who've been listening to this show for a while know that I am a Bioshock fan through and through. I've read the books, I've played the games, I just absolutely love it. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Rob because we know how I'm gonna talk about this. How are you finding your descent down into madness, aka Rapture, going?
Well, before we start talking about the game, I think we need to talk about the port, however briefly, because Bioshock in 2007 had a god-awful PC port. I mean, it was just a pile of crap. It had a super restricted field of view. There were audio issues. There were, I'm trying to remember what else. The physics were only rendered in 30 frames per second. So whenever you kick an object across the room, it had this weird, like, janky,
Stilted look to
irky,
it.
jerky look. Yeah, not pleasant. And just lots of weird little things like that. And with the exception of the physics, which is fixed in this version, all of that carries over and then some to this version. So
They even have an option in the options called extended field of view that doesn't seem to do much.
yeah, as far as I can tell, if it extends it at all, it's maybe like 5 degrees. Where
And
it
there's
needs to be
mouse
extended.
acceleration that is locked
Oh,
on, which is bullshit.
that's what I forgot to mention. For me, I mean, to bust out a meme, literally unplayable. If you have a high DPI mouse with the mouse acceleration on, literally unplayable.
Yeah,
So
because you just go everywhere.
my first hour of playing Bioshock was looking up tutorials online to fix all the stuff that was broken with it. So
Now,
I got my mouse acceleration turned off. I got
what
my field
audio
of view
issues
fixed.
did you have?
I haven't had any. That's just stuff that people have widely reported, particularly in the remaster. The original had some, but the remaster. Oh, you know what? I have had one. Sometimes the audio logs will skip. They'll go.
I've had that too. I have them where there's if you died in an area and you go back to it, even if the splicer is not there. So like, let's say they're in a if they're in a area they're supposed to jump out of. I've had it several times where even if you kill them, if you die and go back, their audio cue is still going on, like they're waiting to jump out at you.
Oh, interesting.
And
I
it will
haven't had
follow
that
you
big
around, which is annoying. I also had one. This was my computer, not not the thing. But I thought it was the system because I started and all of a sudden my left ear had like white noise going on, and it had really distorted audio. Like it sounded like my character was talking as Alvin the Chipmunk, but through like a walkie-talkie. And I recorded it. I recorded the video playing, but I don't think it was the audio from the game. I think it was just my headset having a problem. But it was really funky listening to that. I'll have to go back and see if it is. And if it does record it, then I'll go ahead and post it to the YouTube channel so that people can see what I'm talking about. If it doesn't, not going to post a video of me going, man, listen to this audio. As it's just like, yeah.
You'll be like the guy on acid who's like, "Are you guys seeing this fucking cat right now?"
Right? My cat's right there. He's trying to leave, but the door's closed.
Yeah. So hard to complain too much. It was a free upgrade, but it is a little disappointing that they didn't revisit any of those issues in the port. But 2K did come out with a statement saying that they are going to be fixing a lot of that. So if you don't like digging around in your INI files, typing in values and copy pasting shit, then just wait. And hopefully that will be fixed. So beyond that, I don't have much negative to say about this game. I was never a big Bioshock fan. I played and enjoyed the first one after a few false starts because I was always such a big System Shock fan, and it is, well, it's a little bit of a shock to the system.
Indeed, it is
to go into this game expecting that style of game, and what you're really getting is something that's more like Half-Life. It's a scripted first-person shooter. I almost said linear, but it's kind of not linear actually. There is some good exploration.
On Bioshock?
So, in Bioshock, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's nice areas to go and explore through, and I can generally use the head over to Neptune's bounty, and then we'll meet you there. And I'm like, oh, so Neptune's bounty, that's where I'm not gonna go. Okay, let's go explore. Like,
Yeah.
luckily that's how they kind of set that up, because there's such big landmarks that you're going to. You can explore away from that area.
Yeah, and the first time I played through this game, I didn't do much of that because I was brand new back to PC gaming. I'd taken several years off. I think I've told this story on the podcast several times.
Mm-hmm.
But Bioshock was one of the names people kept saying, like, oh, if you're coming back into gaming in 2009, but you got to play Bioshock. And yeah, I didn't like it at first. I eventually gelled with it, but I was really just following that arrow, and I was so engaged in the story, I didn't want to do any other stuff. And I was playing on normal difficulty, which facilitated that. So this time, cranked it up to hard, much better experience. It forces you. I'm playing it more like I would approach a Deus Ex or Dishonored or something, where I'm exploring every nook and cranny, just trying to build up my resources so that I can survive, which you don't have to do because the Vita chambers, but I'm also trying to play it as though the Vita chambers weren't there.
Same here. Like, I actually, you'll find this funny. I don't play that game guns a-blazing. I generally try to go a little stealthy with it. Like, I always try to zap snap, which is zap them with the electricity and then hit them with the wrench all the time. Like, that's my default in that game, or the pistol. So like, I try to be as quiet as possible in that game.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to harp on this too much. I'll just say it once, and then stick to reviewing the game we got, not the game I wish we got. But can you imagine how good this game would be if it had like a lean key and a little more robust stealth system and a little more robust RPG system, and was really more like a Looking Glass game?
You know what they could do? They should take this Bioshock game and they should
go to space.
Do like not a reimagining, a remaster. We should remaster this game for a modern age.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Wait.
Fix it.
Wait, yeah. Wait, isn't that what we're talking about? Isn't that what we're supposed to be talking about?
Oh, that's the other thing I meant to mention about the remaster. What's remastered?
Right? It just feels like Bioshock.
Yeah, I played the first 30 minutes of Bioshock vanilla before I jumped into the remaster, and they look, I'm sure if you take screenshots and you press your face right up against the textures, you can see a difference, but the games, it's the same game.
Yeah.
It even pretty much looks the same.
I love Bioshock, but fuck the company that's releasing this trying to be like, oh yeah, it's remastered. No, just say you released it. Like, we're re-releasing it on the PS4. Well,
from what I hear rave reviews of the PS4 version.
Okay, well then
that's really good, and that it definitely benefits from the higher frame rate and the bumped up visuals from the console version. But going from I can see why this was free for people who had it already on PC, and I think that's because they wanted to not get brigaded with downvotes, like bad reviews, if they'd charge for it. Because there's no way, if you already own the other one, this would be worth any money to upgrade. It is pretty much the exact same fucking game.
I haven't noticed any difference. Like, I played that game several times through, and this time I played it looks the same. It looks good. Like, for how old that game is,
looks great.
It looks fantastic.
The art design in Bioshock, Rapture is one of the, if not the coolest places I've ever been to in a video game.
Oh yeah, it is.
It is
so good. Like, when you're there, and spoilers for the first, what do you want to say, hour? Like, that's not hard. Like, that's when you get there and it's falling apart, or you get there and it's not. Like, you see the bathysphere, and you see the icons that they built around this, and this inexplicable lighthouse that you then walk in and get in, and you see just the reaching image of Andrew Ryan, and then you pass through and he's got his little video going on. It's so good. Like, the setting of Rapture is my favorite setting in a video game world, in a fictional universe. It is my favorite place. Like, I love the books on that. I love the character that is Rapture, just based on everything that happened there. It's amazing.
Well, and I think the only one that gives it a run for its money off the top of my head would be another Ken Levine partially created world, the city from Thief. I think
I was like, you have your dog, and then there's mine. Yes,
Yeah, my dog's having a little bit of a panic attack right now. Sorry.
no problem. Mine just wanted to come and say hi.
But yeah, Ken Levine, not always my favorite games writer, especially some of the stuff in Bioshock Infinite. But
Hmm.
you want to talk about a guy that can write you a cool fucking world? No one better, and also can write a great scene, a great moment. Like the things that stick out to me in this series are like in the first little bit there when you go up and there's the woman bent over, like hunched over the stroller.
Yeah, and like, Joe, why aren't you here? I could love you, and oh, but you're so beautiful. Like, I sat there and I listened to that. Like, that's why I move quietly throughout this world, because there's so much ambient storytelling that's going on, not just through the passive stuff, or not just through the active stuff like the memory logs and stuff like that, but the passive environment that you have there with the characters talking to each other and mumbling and looking at the ruins of like what Steinman did, right? Like his fall from grace. You can watch from like in both an audio and a physical nature, from progressing in deeper to the pavilion and listening to his initial inputs and the women that he was talking to and what he has actually become because of the Adam infection that starts to mess with him and lose his morality and destroy his genes.
Yeah, yeah, and the game's full of stuff like that. I think it falls apart a little in the third act, but the first two thirds of this game, story wise, are really special.
Where do you stand on Little Sisters?
Um, yeah, I think as a mechanic, they're pretty cool. I
Mm-hmm.
think having these multiple bosses on each kind of level of rapture that you can take out kind of whenever you want is a cool idea, and I think they're fun to fight. As a moral mechanic, meh.
Yeah.
I don't know that it was handled super well as like a commentary on video game morality,
Well, because you
but
literally have to make the right decision the entire time. I think you can't even kill one of them, right?
yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Which puts you to. I don't even think it really puts you at a disadvantage. I think actually, um, if you look at that game, when you have all of them and you have all that Adam, you can't possibly use all that stuff. Like, I
Right.
think that really just makes you embody what killing the little sisters makes you become, right? Like, you're becoming a splicer. That's what that does. Like as you overuse Adam, as Adam becomes more and more important to you, you lose morality, you lose sanity, you just kind of go and you have it and you want it to excess. Like you need Adam. So
Yeah.
good. This remaster
Now,
though. Yeah.
as a piece of art design and as a character, I think they're pretty fucking creepy.
Hmm. They're all
But
done so well. The story of that game is really good. The setting, the characters, I like it.
yeah, the only thing I don't like about the story, besides yeah, it blows its load a little before the third act,
Hmm.
um, is it's so structurally similar to System Shock 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost a rehash.
Well, we're getting a remaster or remake of System Shock 2, so that no?
Nope, System Shock 1.
Oh, System Shock 1. Okay, well maybe we'll see
Yep.
System Shock 2 then after that.
There's been some chatter about that. I'd be surprised if that happened. If they do something like that, it'd probably be more of like a large scale mod. But
So
I would be surprised because System Shock 2 I mean, it's pretty approachable by comparison. If you can
gotcha.
play Bioshock, you can play System Shock 2.
I
Controls
don't.
the
I do
same.
not agree with that at all. Not
Well, that
one
doesn't.
bit.
No.
No, that game is way more archaic in its game style than BioShock is. BioShock is definitely more of a modern game, and even that, the way BioShock One controls, doesn't feel very modern with their plasmid switching system. And if you
Oh, did you see? I don't remember. I haven't checked to see if this was in the original game or not. But did you see that you can change it so that right click is switch to plasmid and use plasmid, and left click is switch to weapon and use weapon?
no, give me
Yeah,
that. That'll make it feel way more alive.
I did it in the INI file when I was changing all the other stuff in there,
Hmm.
and then I noticed it in the game menu, and I would think that it was actually in the game menu the whole time, But it's also possible that the code that I copy pasted in there to make it work is what triggered that. So either way, if it's not in the menu, then I'll get you the how to on that, because that makes the game so much more playable.
Oh yeah, that'll make it feel much more modern. That's one thing I hated, is the fact that it always felt like you were switching back and forth. So switch, fire, fire, switch, fire, switch, fire. Like if I'm doing that, it actually feels like Bioshock Infinite, right? Where you have your plasmid on the alternate, and then
It's a lot closer. There's still a little more delay between switching,
because
but
you have to
it's
switch
not
attack, switch attack.
right.
But it's still on the same button, so I can be like click, 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 click,
Exactly. So it's just, for me, it's a muscle memory thing. I'm used to playing games with the infinite scheme. I played a ton of games that way. That's how I played Dishonored. That's how I played.
Oh, I can't wait for Dishonored. It's coming out.
Dishonored 2. That's going to be awesome.
I'm getting Mafia. That's coming out here soon. Oh God, I'm waiting for all these games, man. It's gonna be a good time. Titanfall
South Park
2
got delayed.
I know, into 2017. The fractured butthole, or sorry, the fractured butthole.
Correct.
I have to put the right emphasis on the correct syllable.
Exactly.
But yeah, Bioshock Remastered. I'm happy to go back and play Bioshock. I'm happy to have any excuse to talk about it on the podcast. But I think if we're talking about it as a remaster, this is an utter fail as far as that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, but like
at
I
least
said,
on the console. Sorry, at least on the PC. We aren't talking for the Xbox One or the PS4 release on this, because neither one of us played that. So
it's worth free and only just barely.
Gotcha. I agree with that. Although that being said, it gave me a reason to go back and play Bioshock, and I'm having a great time with that. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to read Rapture, the book, which is fantastic, and I recommend everybody read if you haven't.
We should also play Minerva's Den when we do
Bioshock 2. Yep.
Because I hear that's amazing. I played a little bit of it, but I never finished it.
I will look at it myself, because I do believe I still have that. I'm not sure, though. But is there anything else you want to say on the Bioshock Remaster before we wrap up here, Rob?
If you haven't played Bioshock, yeah, it's a good time to start, for sure. Beyond that, it's, you know our opinions on it. And I'm excited to talk about Bioshock 2, which I don't think we've ever discussed in depth on the show before.
Yeah, I played it. You guys did not want to at the time, so we'll take a closer
No,
look.
it came out before we started this.
I know, but I played it before I played all three of the Bioshocks before Infinite came out.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I don't believe.
But we've never done like a review on it or anything.
No. So. I just brought it up and talked about it. So
yeah,
we'll have to cover that, because that's a different animal. It's fun. It's a different style of game, and I look forward to playing that as well. But I think at this point we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. That was a good podcast, Rob. High five. Yeah, there we go. A little late. We almost got it. You always look so mad when you high five. Like you're focusing so hard. Yeah, you're like.
Yeah, that's because I'm looking at my monitor, making sure I do it right.
Gotcha. I see. So you're like, yeah. There we go. And then you look so maniacal as you look back. Anyway, you listener, if you want to reach us, you can find us at gameoutloudpodcast@gmail.com. You can always tweet us at gameoutloudcast. We are, of course, on iTunes for the backlog, as well as www.gameoutloudpodcast.com. All of our new episodes will be up here, and eventually we'll go ahead and add them there when we have a sizable amount. So if you ever need to get a hold of us, that's the way to do it. We will do these roughly every Tuesday. So just listen or watch the Twitter feed and see when we're recording. You're always welcome to come in and chat and talk, and maybe influence the show a little bit in the YouTube chat. So
and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe on YouTube. That's always a good thing. Get those numbers up, bring us out in front of people. So thanks again, guys. And until next week, have a good one.